Time being 10 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Wanda? Don?
Here.
Joe? Dan?
Here.
Sherry?
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum present. Does any commissioner have a reason to abstain for a financial or non-financial conflict of interest?
No. No.
I do not. Anyone like to make a public comment at this time? Public comment is closed. Oh, I think, shoot.
Approval of agenda?
Yep, I forgot. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion. Second.
So I have a motion by Clemish, second by Kettering to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Agenda is approved. And I kind of got ahead of myself. Now is the time for public comment, but there was none, so we'll just keep that closed. Oh, go ahead.
Start with like Utica. Here's going ground up our road to the substation. I was just wondering, are you ever going to put that back to asphalt? I mean, that's been that way for 70 years. We're going backwards. My opinion.
Yep, at this time, we do not have plans to put pavement back on that road.
Anything to improve the conditions that are on that road?
Do you want to talk about that during your 5-year plan? Okay, we'll make sure we discuss it when Mike's going through his 5-year plan. Would that be good? Okay, thank you. So go ahead, Mike, you're the only item on the agenda.
Sherry, just let me know when it's over and I'll come back.
A 5-year plan, helps out.
It helps out as a guideline for the department and for the commission, and then also to apply for big grants, we also have to provide this to the state. First sheet is a revenue source table. Everybody's got a handout. These are all projections for the next 5 years. As you can see, just the local funds are not enough to fund the highway department's budget. We do have to go out of the general fund to help supplement the budget. State funds down below. You can see we plan to apply for PE grants for a couple bridges in 24 and 25 and rehab replace. Well, in 22, we're going to reapply for replacement on Stone Church Bridge, and then hopefully in 23, we can replace it. In 26, don't know if it'll happen, but we do have Fleegs Bridge in there for replacement. And the other on the bottom there, that is for the pavement markings. It's hard to calculate on what we will actually get every year for that.
So I'm going to jump in here. That very first line where it says general funds property tax, that's the tax for the secondary roads in the unorganized townships.
Yep. Is there any questions on that sheet? Alrighty, we'll move on to 2022 road improvement plan. It's hard to see on the big map there. Highlights are a little shy, but all the oranges are the chip seal routes, blues are crack sealant, and the green is overlay, asphalt overlay, like 1.5 inch mat. We're hoping we continue on doing that. Anyways, you can see Meadow Road north of 46, the north-south Celesteville Road, the North County line, the Viberg Road, 6 miles there. 6 miles at 448 north of 46. And then Vollen all the way down to the county line there. Jim River Road by Kellen's Pit there, and then Deer Boulevard between SD Highway 314 and Highway 50. 448 Avenue north of 46. We chipped it last year. Road is in pretty tough shape. We're trying to get a second chip seal on it sooner than later, trying to save the road. That also accounts for south of Gayville. We chipped it this year. They just completed that Monday. And we will be chipping that again next year. Asphalt projects. I know on here we have the 4 miles of the Johnson Bridge Road, and then the 6 miles down to Old 50, and then 2 miles of the Tabor Road. Not sure how that's gonna play out. This year, we were planning on hopefully getting new asphalt all the way to 303 on 444, but we're running out of time. I'm thinking between this week and next week, we'll probably get 2 more miles of Wallstown done, and that'll probably be about it for the year. So we'll end up adding more miles for next year's wish list.
So where's that put you on the 444 this year?
That would,
Or south?
2 miles south, that'd be, put us to 299. I really would have liked to make it to at least 301, but we have other projects we gotta get going on. So we got a couple bridge projects, some culverts. Just a lot of workload left. Is there any questions on 2022? No. Go on to 23. In 2023, chip seal routes would be 433rd between Lesterville Road and 46, 437 between Lesterville Road and 46, 4 mile stretch of the Midway Road west of 81, Utica Road between Utica and 81. That one also we chip sealed last year, and that road is in tough shape. So that is why we're being kind of aggressive on the chip seals. We're trying to preserve what we have, so we don't want to grind anything else up right now. Also for chip seal, Wallstown, I have all the way down to 303 from the North County line, because that'd be with our new asphalt. We pave it 1 year, the next year we come through, cut the cracks, crack seal it. Then the year after that, we would chip it. This might change on how much of it we do in 2023. It just depends on where we end up this year on the overlay. New asphalt on the 3 miles north of Irene we did this year. Like I said, that'll be next year, crack seal, 23 chip seal. 446 from Highway 46 down to Old 50, and the east-west Vollen Road all the way to the county line. Then also we have in there Sunrise Edition, which is over by James Steele, and then also Hastings Drive and Allimax Drive right off of East Side Drive. Any questions on 2023? Oh, I guess I skipped The asphalt overlay. In 22, we had it to do the east or the west 2 miles of the Tabor Road. So then this year, or in 23, I would have the rest of it in the plan. If things go the direction we want it to. Any questions? On to 24. In 2024, chip seal, north-south Utica Road from 46 to 50. The new overlay, which in 23, it'll be crack sealed. The 303 from 81 to 444. And then south to Old 50. In 23, it'd be crack sealed, and then 24 chip sealed, since it would be new asphalt. And then the Midway Road from Highway 81 to the 452, the county line there. That would actually be a double chip seal. That road got ground up in 2019. So no, 2020. So we'll be putting that back to hard surface. The reason dragging that one out so far is because of Highway 46 construction. If we leave it gravel, hopefully there won't be it won't be used as a detour route. And then also for chip seal, be Riverside Acres, Timberland Park, Chalkstone Hill, Oak Hills, and English Heights, all down by the lake there. Some of them have kind of been in tough shape, so they all got chipped in 2018. By 24, it'll be 5 years out. It'd actually be nice to put it on a little sooner on them, but we gotta stretch it out too, I guess. Then for asphalt overlay, we have the Celesteville Road from Highway 46 to Highway 50. That may change, I don't know. Looking into a new process called microsurfacing. Clay County's been doing it on some of their roads. It's about 41,000 mile right now to do a process like that. And some of the roads that Clay County has done it on, they were kind of rough and bumpy roads, and while doing this, it really brought them around, I think. They're still not 100%, but they are better. So it's something we're really looking into now. Any questions on 24? Oh, we'll go on to 25. For chip seal, be the 12 miles of the Tabor Road, the Scotland Road, the Colony Road, 448 from 46 all the way down to 50. Old 50. The reason I have it stopped there at roughly 449 is because predicting on doing a new overlay on from Vollen and then finish Old 50 to where we left off last year. Then also chip seal the county line south of Irene, which when we do any work on the county line south of Irene, we split the cost half with Clay County. Again, the asphalt overlay also on 448 from the county line down to Highway 50. If things go the way we want. Any questions on 25? On to 26. Now 24, 25, and 26, that is getting out there ways, so there's a lot that can change on these maps from now until then. So this year, we chipped east-west Celesteville Road. I have that down. That'd be a 5-year, well, it'll be 6 years out for another chip. Anyways, so east-west Celesteville Road, North County line, that was in one of the prior years here, but that one there is kind of getting in tough shape, so we're gonna stay on top of that one. 301, the Bluff Road, down by Vollen there. Jim River Road over by Kellen's Pit. That one I have, like, I think in 23, that one there is in tough shape also, so I'm trying to get on top of that one again. And then also the over by the hay mill and then south of Gayville for chip seal. I know these are B roads, but I have on here for new asphalt would be between Utica Road and 81, and then also the Vollen Road from 444 to 448. All subject to change there. Just depends if we have some A roads that are getting in tougher shape, that's where we shift the asphalt to. Any questions on 26?
I know this is a waste of breath because it's money, but the shoulders are really bad. Your chip sealing and stuff, but there's big cracks for to have them shoulders extended. Because when you pull over with our big equipment, all we're doing is peeling down the asphalt. When we pull over to take the ditch for oncoming traffic, is there any possibility that something can happen about shoulder buildup so that when we pull over with it?
You're talking like north of your place on 448 there, and there are other places. So on 448 there, using that as an example, because that was really bad. What we did this year for patching it, is that a permanent fix? No, it's not. But it was unsafe the way it was when you have 2 foot into the lane beyond the white line. There was an 1.5 to 2 inch drop, uneven cracking, so we filled it. It got chipped. There's already some big cracks in it, which I knew was going to happen. Honestly, I think the best way to fix like that stretch of road where it's really bad, there's no shoulders, I feel we need to grind it up, widen it out, and hard surface it. That's about the only way you're gonna get good material out there on them shoulders. The guy could grind up the outside 4 feet on each side, but might as well do the whole thing then. Because I've spoke with like IMEG about this problem too, and it's kind of what they suggest too. Because the problem is already out there. You need to fix below before, especially on that one, there's a 2 inch drop along the shoulder or into the road, Is there any other questions on roads? Jim, I know I said it, I promised it to you a couple times this summer that we're gonna come out there with chemical on the Utica Road. Work it up, spray base one into it. It's just, we've been stacked pretty hard this year. I'll try my best to get that applied to it this year. And then also, I know you're here with 303. 294th, okay.
Excuse me. Wow.
law states that people aren't detouring over here. My road's busy. I'm under freaking dust. When it comes out south, I'm covered. Any car, I don't care what speed they're going. You are not gonna follow them, for one. Two, if they're hauling ass. It's all the way down 294. What can I do?
Well, in the interim, I guess, until it's hard surfaced, it kind of up to,
It's gonna be hard surface.
in 24, it's in the plan.
I can deal with it. But it's really just, I've seen the graders out there moving that dirt back and forth because you have to get it packed. I understand that. Good Lord, man. Especially it being dry as it has been.
No, as dry as it's been,
Freaking
it's,
dying out there. And you do, well, winter's coming now. And when it gets wet, it's even freaking, you're rotting in ruts. In ruts. And I'm real tired of it. And I know there's crap that's going on all over. I know this, but you're killing me. If I'm not under dust, I'm driving on muddy ass frickin' roads. I did not choose that when I bought my house. I chose to live on 294 because it was paved. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I can't go out and mow my lawn unless the road is not being used. Because I'm under dust, man. And if it comes from the south, I'm dead. I'm covered. If the wind's high, I'm being blown on. I get no break. Because you people chipped it. People who want to live on dirt roads, that's their choice. They don't get used as often as 294. And I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't try to sound mean. I'm not trying to sound pissed off. But inside, I'm very why? I hope it gets done. If you do it in 2024, freaking great. I'll come up and shake your hand and pat you on the back. But right now, it's killing me. I don't know. I didn't buy my house there to be fucking, excuse me, I'm sorry. To be drowned by dust. I have dirt roads around me. I understand dirt roads blowing up dust, but they aren't being used as much as my road is. And you people can tell me, oh, they're not, these trucks are not detouring. These people on their GPSs that get a cut that says take 294, 281. And they are doing it. And they are freaking hauling ass on my road. It's not my road, public road. And I am being dusted. I'm
I-
sorry.
I think we understand your point.
And I spoke wrong too when I said we're grounded up and left it ground up to hope people wouldn't detour on that. That was not the whole point of it either. We didn't want to hard surface it and have it destroyed by traffic detouring on it.
Correct, I understand that.
And prior to that, not trying to pick no fights here, but the road was in really tough shape before it was ground up. This is
Yes,
before,
it was.
it was before our time.
Yes, sir. And some of these roads have been neglected for freaking years.
So we're trying to turn things around here.
I know you are. But how long has 294 been ground up? A year, year and a half?
Right? Year and a half.
And oh my God, this road is still being used, sir. They aren't being used like the dirt roads that you see. Where there are farmers that are living there that have chose to be there because not very many people travel down dirt roads. And when they do, they're cutting across somewhere real quick. It's almost constant dust on my house, sir. I'm a veteran. I'm not trying to use that. My wife retired from the military, 24 years. We came and moved to South Dakota because she had family here. I don't know if you know Lloyd Herline or used to know him. He has died. But we came back to help take care of her family. We chose that spot. It was quiet. Nobody bothered us. We've been 24 years in the military. We just want to live our life. And now, it's not enjoyable anymore. Yankton County's been pretty good. When I've been out of Yankton County for 30 years. I've been married 40 years to my wife. So I've been in and out of this place because we have been stationed other places for 40 years. I enjoyed it here. I enjoyed it where I live. I'm not enjoying it now. I'm sorry. I know you're trying. Good Lord, man, what can I do? I'd sell my house. And I don't want to do that. I love where I live. I'm just not enjoying it anymore. That's all I'm saying. Do.
Sure, I think we've got your point.
Good, I'm glad. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. Do what you gotta do. If you're doing something in 2024, please, sir, do it. Please.
In a brief synopsis, explain what the microprocessing at $41,000 a mile and the cost benefit of possibly doing that.
The microsurfacing, what that is, it's not a machine, a machine that we have to do the process with. It's it mixes 3/8 chips, some fine sands, Portland cement, and some polymer oils in. And what it is, it kind of looks like a paver screed behind a truck. It's got two augers to even out the material, and then a squeegee. What they do is they call it a scratch surface. They just pretty much drag it out. It fills in a lot of the voids and wheel ruts. Like, it's got to be minor stuff though, to fill in. And then they come back over, and then it would be like pretty much a 1/2 inch aggregate, same stuff, but over the top. It's like I said, you do gain some ride out of it. It's not 100%, but you want to do it on your better roads. Another, I don't know if anybody goes west, but from Tabor to Tyndall last year on 2 years ago on Highway 50, the state did it on that road, and that did help out a lot. Depends on who you talk to. I've been told 7 to 11 years before you chip it, but then I actually talked to the salesman that sells the stuff. He recommends 4, which like asphalt or anything else, it makes sense. The longer you leave it without covering up, you're losing the oil out of, whether it be the asphalt or like the microsurfacing. You know, like when asphalt starts turning gray, you're already losing the oil content out of the top layer of the mix.
Chip seal was roughly 23,000.
I always figured 22. So it's double of a chip. I'm not looking at replacing any chip sealing. I'm looking at possibly saving money on paving. Chip seal, we can't give that up. We could replace paving, some paving with this process.
So tell them what you're spending on paving for the Wallstown Road right now.
Paving right now, it's costing us right around that 60 to 75,000, just depending how bad the road is. North of 46, it was really bad. There were spots where the road is at a 4.5%. Well, your goal is to have a 2% slope on it. So there's a lot of places where there's 4 inches of mix on the shoulder of the road. I'm hoping farther south, we get the Wallstown Road between 46 and Highway 50. I don't feel that it's as bad. I got to run a level across it, slope gauge. Anyways, I don't feel we'll go through near the mix on that because it's not as patched up and out of whack as north of 46 was. So.
So like any growth projects and projections, have we not got the funds received special sort? How much less?
I can only budget probably 3 to 4 miles in the budget a year. Well, let's say 3 to 5
You're talking for paving.
for paving.
So essentially, all the paving we've been doing is because of COVID.
As long as the budget numbers stay where they're at. I shouldn't even say that because the way prices are on oil and everything else, everything's going up. Gravel went way up. Everything's increasing, so.
We just got a bid on gravel, what,
740.
740?
The last pile we bought was $595. And the one pile that we did buy earlier this year was 6 1/4, so. From a different location.
And that's one reason we're pushing so hard to do this work now, is because it's only more expensive next year.
But it's gonna go up, they're all our gravel out of South Dakota. Grass.
Yep, everything's going up.
And back to the revenue side of the thing. Property tax runs $50,000.
That's on the townships. That is one thing in the future we're going to have to look at. Like the Utica Road between Utica and Joe Substation. And then also a stretch between 444 and 448 of 303. It's super hard to maintain them. They, dry conditions, you go out there, you cut the washboards off, and then you have all that powder that can't compact back in, so your washboards end up getting that much larger. In the future, yes, we will have to look at them roads. Not only them, 434 Kaiser, that is another one. It's hard to stay on top of the maintenance without treating them with some chemical or hard surfacing. And if we're treating them with chemical all the time, over time, you could have done a double chip on it and been ahead. It sucks to say, I know we don't want to add any more miles back to the county system, but it may be something we really have to look at in the future. Especially if we want to keep everything growing, I guess. Any questions on roads? All right, on to bridges. Every year we've been trying to do at least 2 replacements, 1 to 2 replacements on our system. For next year, we have in 2022, Stone Church Bridge. You can see that's highlighted in yellow. We'll be reapplying for that for replacement. Hoping we should be in the ball game this year or this next year when we reapply, because we are paying for the design engineering out of our own pocket. That'll gain us 10 points on our big score with the state. Last year, our score was 48, so that'll put us at 58. Last year, the low score to be awarded was 52. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed deal, but we will be in the ball game. The other 2 bridges for next year would be for replacement, be on 448, mile and a half south or north of 294, and then on 294, right at, it's just shy of a mile east of 448. Then also east of that bridge, there will be a box culvert we're going to take out and replace with a culvert. I would like to, that is the only bridge on Midway Road 294 that has a load rating on it now. So before we hard surface 294 again, I feel that would be the time to put the new bridge in, let everything settle, and be ready to go for 2024. Them 2 bridges, in the past years, the bridges that we've been putting in are steel structures, steel decks, so therefore you pave over them or gravel over them. These 2 bridges, it's going to cost us a little more money. I feel the steel decks that we've been doing, you're paving over it. Well, salt, moisture gets in between the asphalt and the deck. Nobody has the answer. How long is that deck going to last? You know, is it going to last 20 years? Is it going to last 50 years? Well, salt, well, you know how salt is. If we get 30 to 40 years out of it, I feel that'll probably be what it is. I am planning on going to a concrete deck, a poured concrete deck on both of them bridges. On our asphalt roads, that's how I feel we should go, is spend the extra dollars, get a more permanent product on our roads, on our hard surface roads. Gravel roads, yes. We can go back to stay with the steel decks, gravel over them, deck rusts out in 40 years, peel it off and put on a new one. And then also for 2022, it'll be on 304th Street, about 1/3 of a mile east of 444. There's a series of a bridge and a concrete box culvert put together. It's really tough shape. We're doing a hydraulic study on it this year, so we can what we plan on doing is tearing it out and replacing it with a series of culverts. The hydraulic study costs a little bit of money, but then we know exactly what to put in there for size and sequence. 2023, you'll see Stone Church Bridge up there. That's got a box around it. We're hoping that is the year it will be replaced. Also, over there on 298th Street on the north end of Marindal Bridge or Marindal Lake, there's a structure there that's in tough shape. We'll have to do a hydraulic study and hopefully we can replace it with a concrete box. And then over there on 302 Lime Pit Road, if anybody knows that road. There's a bridge there on the creek there that's in tough shape. Plan on replacing that with a bridge. 2024 442, that's a county gravel up there. The bridge is load rated, it's starting to show its wear and tear, so we will be replacing that one. Jamesville Bridge, plan on applying for a PE grant for that one. And then north of Valley View there on 446. That one's tough shape, plan on replacing that one. And then in over there west of Joe Substation and south, there is a truss bridge there that's been closed since, I want to say 2011. It's a truss bridge. Something hit it. We ended up closing the bridge. I got us into a program to where the federal program that will pay for tearing it out. And then possibly we'll vacate that mile after that. In 25, PE grant on Jamesville Bridge. Down there on 432. North of Highway 50, about 2.25 miles. Replace that bridge with a concrete box. And then up there by Irene on 296. Replace that bridge with another bridge. In 26, we would have apply for big replacement on Fleegs. And then also bridge replacement 2 miles south and 2 miles east of Lesterville. It's a structure that crosses the Beaver Creek. It's in pretty tough shape the way it is now. All this is subject to change with our structures, our small truck structures. I plan on sticking with this pretty hard unless something else pops up. Like the PE grants for Jamesville and Stone Church and the replacement on Fleegs, any of that is subject to change. The main thing is I have all 4 Jim River bridges on the 5-year plan. That way, if something pops up, we can apply for it. If it's not on here, we can't apply for it. Any questions on the bridges? All right. Well, I guess one more thing to add with the bridges, if you look at the sufficiency rating sheets, our reds and yellows are shrinking. There'll be 2 more. There'll be a red and a yellow to disappear off of this list yet this year. The Scotland Road, I know that was not in the 5-year plan to replace last year, but it's down to 12 ton, if I recall, something like it's really low. So we're tearing that one out this year and replacing that with concrete box. And then no.
You don't have to know which number that one was.
And then 305 Street west of 444, it curves north, it's gravel. It goes up to 303. Anyways, there's a bridge on there that's in tough shape also. We applied for a Jim River grant for assistance on that. We are replacing that with a box culvert. That will happen yet this year.
So of those reds and yellows, 2 of them will be knocked off this year, and Mike has 10 in the 5-year plan. And that does not include any of the Jim River bridges. Because we don't know if those are gonna actually be knocked out. It depends on if we get the money for it. So of that red and yellow, 12 of them within the next 5 years will for sure be gone. And they should turn green.
On some of these reds are on a no maintenance roads, so there are some reds that may never come off here. And if they do, it'll have to be replaced with some kind of a culvert because we don't want to put a structure back in.
Correct, but one good thing about having a lot of these bridges in the plan is the feds still haven't approved their trillion or whatever it is for their highway infrastructure. So we're still waiting along with the state to see how much money is gonna come from the feds over the next 8 years. I think it's an 8-year plan that they were looking at.
And if anybody would like to see where these bridge numbers are located, if you go on to, I should have printed them out, but if you go on to the county webpage, go under departments, there is a map of all of our bridges with the numbers on them, so you could refer to the map to this.
Most of these bridges are 2-year.
Correct.
So I know this is a hard question to ask, but I'm gonna ask it anyhow. On these, like, for instance, that first one in green is, I think that's a 62. How much do we, in a 2-year, I know it depends on usage, but we're talking that we're gonna eliminate 12, but how many might be added?
Right.
Prospect?
No, it's very true.
Because what you gotta get, does it have to be under a 60 to go into the next condition? And like I say, you got a couple here that are pretty darn close.
Right.
No, I think the whole goal is to get it where we can manage and only have what you're saying every year. We've got 2 more that come on the list. Well, those are the 2 we do this year. But we've been so far behind that we've been having to do extra work. Instead of doing 2 bridges here, we've been doing 3 or 4 and trying to just get ahead of it. And we all know those big 4 are, I'm hoping the feds will allow us to do some packaging of those maybe. It'd be great. But,
Well, and a lot of these that will be coming up will be on gravel roads. There's a lot of bridges on gravel roads that probably don't necessarily need to be bridges. We have done that already where we've done a series of culverts. Like this year we did, we knocked out 2 bridges that really didn't need to be, had hydraulic studies done on them, replaced them with a series of culverts. Yeah, in a major flood event, there's gonna be some major water going through it. I feel if we keep doing it how we're doing it, we won't have a problem. We armor the inlet and outlets very well with riprap. It shouldn't go anywhere unless it overtops the road. There's a chance then, you know, but
It was the same thing as what Ray brought up, just wondering, how many greens can be coming up with the red and yellow?
you know,
eventually they'll all be in there, but hopefully they string out manageable going forward.
and that's it on our oil roads right now. We're going after all of the load rated bridges on the oil roads. Got to keep things moving, I guess. And after that, that's why you're noticing in the 5 years, there's less done on oil roads and more starting to steer towards the gravels. Our oil roads are they're getting there. We'll be there in a few years. But
Like, I want to like go back and ask for
yep,
problem, challenge. Many more in county. Yards or so in front of their house. Reach a lot of the dust, whatever the distance. What would it cost to put that oil, dusty garden down for say $1,000
I don't have the calculations in front of me, Don, but it would, because if we got to do it in front of gyms, and then we, you know,
Don't worry about doing it in front of one person.
right, I'm just saying, it would be very costly. What we used to do, you know, Willowdale and 434 Kaiser, West 11th, West 23rd, all these high traffic ones around town. We're spending 60 to 80,000 on that. Then you go on, if we start doing it on these ground up roads, we're gonna spend probably the same amount by the time we hit by everybody's place, you know, on the Utica Road, on 303, on 449, 294. It's gonna be very costly.
But I'd like to know if there's a possibility that cost share between the landowner and the county do us and break the road
Oh,
on what that might be.
For your information, I've got a daughter that lives in Crooks, right out of Crooks. They've got a gravel road ladder. It up there someplace, comes in every year, sprays that, but it can't be maintained after that. So they pay that cost, but there's a way to do it. But I don't know if it'd be right now in this area.
So your daughter pays for that?
and we have no issue if anybody wants to pay. I guess I'm speaking for all of us, but I don't have an issue. If you wanted to spray it in front of your house, all I ask, because I've had many requests, you know, and all I ask is whoever is doing it, they need to contact us so we get the road shaped up before they spray it. And then after it's sprayed, the only time we can maintain it is after a rain. So if anybody does, I don't know how the commission feels about it, but that's what I've been telling people.
I think that's a good solution. That isn't gonna eliminate your wash.
No, well, it will help.
And it doesn't eliminate the dust if you don't do it every year. Because dust still comes back.
The washboarding, it will, like, what you're dealing with now, if it was sprayed with dust control, you'd probably have half of the problem.
Don't really have the washboarding so bad, other than right when you leave Utica and when you go up the hill. So there's 2 miles of paint, but from there on to the summit, it's bad.
Right. Yeah, from there to 433. From 435 to 433, it's terrible. And then 294th Street off of 444, 448, 452, the first half mile is all washboards. But then once you get going, it's not bad. Other than the dust. 303 from 44 Wallstown Road, 444 to 448. I just don't understand how there must be that much more traffic in them 2 miles that get funneled just to them 2 miles. Same with Jim, like you're saying, the first 2 miles out of Utica are just terrible. After that, it's not bad. Any other questions or comments on any of that? All righty, we'll move on to final, the project status list of the roads from last year's plan. All of the chip seal plan for this year is done. We added south of Gayville on there from last year, and then also the Bluff Road going east of Vollen. That was supposed to get done. It just kept getting put off every year, and this year we just bit the bullet and did it. Edge repair patch. That was all the roads on there are the ones that I had originally listed for chip seal for next year. well, the amount of patching that we do on our roads to get them ready for chip seal, I took it off the 5-year plan anymore because what we're chipping that year is what we patch. We don't have the time or the money to do this year and next year to get caught up for next year. It doesn't work. Crack sealant. We did get a few done there. We got the Celesteville Road done. And then 4-4. I don't know what I got that wrong there. Anyways, yeah, the crack sealing, will work on that this fall. We don't really do much crack sealing in the winter. It's usually in the spring and the fall or winter when the cracks are opened up. Bridges, last sheet there. So I spoke about this one already. Bridge north of Mayfield there is on a township road. We took the bridge out, replaced it with culverts, got that one done this spring. The next bridge, 024008 there, that was west of Stone Church. Replaced that, took the bridge out, replaced it with culverts. That was all that was done in-house. We didn't hire anything out. Okay, 043014, that bridge is located east of Stone Church, about 1.5 miles. That was on a STP federal grant that was applied for back in 17-ish. They're finally replacing it now. That is in progress as of now. The bridge is gone. They should be driving pile this week. 137088, that one there, that was a replacement. We went from a 18-foot wide structure to a 24-foot wide structure. Also lengthened it. One thing we did do differently this year, we did a lot more in-house work on it. We rented a hammer for the excavator, knocked the whole structure out, knocked the head walls out, everything. We hauled it away and prepped the site, and Holloway Construction came in and replaced or set the new bridge. By doing all that work ourselves, it saves us 20 to 30,000. So look at doing more of that, prepping our sites. A little more work, but we can handle it. 202130, we did not get done. That will that's the bridge for next year that I changed. It's 1.5 miles. No, 0.5 mile east of 448 on 304. 147-138. That's one of the bridges we're going to knock out and replace with a box culvert. 134-120. That was Johnson Bridge. We're going to apply for rehab. Decided not to do that. 156-182. That is Fleegs. That was a PE grant, preliminary engineering. That is in progress. 030018, that is Stone Church Bridge. We applied for the grant. We were not awarded, so we plan to reapply in 22. 019015. That is the bridge located on the Scotland Road. It's the one that had load rating issues that after last year inspections, it dropped tremendously. So we decided to knock that one out and replace it with concrete box. That will happen next month. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns about any of the 5-year plan or any roads or bridges? If not, I thank everybody for coming. If you have any questions, feel free to call me at the office.
So again, I think it's important to reiterate that a lot of this excess work is because we have extra dollars right now. We put 2 million away last year, 1 million for bridges, 1 million for extra projects, and that was from the CARES Act. And so now we have the ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan funds, which is $4.4 million total. We can't just spend it all on roads and bridges. There are rules associated with how we can spend the dollars, but we have identified a certain portion that we can go ahead and spend. So that has to be spent by the end of 2024 or committed by the end of 2024. So as we go through that and we learn more about the rules, we're all hoping they free up more of those dollars so we can spend them. 4.4 million for the ARPA funds. We've already calculated 1.1 million we can spend on roads and bridges because it's revenue loss. And in the rules, it specifically says you can spend them on infrastructure, essentially anything you want to that is under your normal operating control. So at the last meeting, we committed to transferring some of those already to help pay for some of these road projects. But one thing I do want to mention is that money is going to run out. And so we're going to be on our own to figure out how to get extra dollars for paving projects. And I think we've all identified paving projects is a critical area of need. The safety center debt retires in 2025. The last full payment is 2024, and we have a half payment in 2025. That's $620,000 a year. That is an extra tax levy that we're all paying already. So whoever's on the commission at that time, I've always said, I think it's wise to ask the public to continue paying the same taxes essentially that we've been paying, but instead of paying off the safety center, to start investing in roads. So that'd be another $600,000 a year if the public would support it. Now, to date, we've had how many? 2 failed levies for roads and bridges. But that was on top of what we're already paying. So that's a conversation that will have to happen in a couple of years for the people who were on the commission at that time. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Eventually, this windfall of cash that we've come across, and it is a windfall for our county, is going to run out. So we have to figure something out in the future. So unless there's any other questions for Mike. So we'll officially call for one final public comment. Would anybody like to make a public comment? We'll close public comment, entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Kettering, second by Clemish to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.